Hello, English 2 family. Let's talk about show, not tell. So, hopefully, you've learned this before in an English class, but as writers, you always want to focus on showing the reader rather than telling them your character and or setting descriptions. So the best way to understand this is to look at some examples, but also to think of your pen as a magical painting wizarding wand where you can help visualize for the reader what you are depicting. So, pretty self-explanatory. I've given you an example for show and tell for setting and character, but you'll see in your boxes you get to break them up and you get to pick the character for your short story. So for tell, if I'm describing the setting in a way and a character, well, I'll just tell you. I have picked the adjectives beautiful for setting and upset for character. So for tell, and this is what you want to avoid doing. It was a beautiful summer day. The weather was perfect. Nancy remembered the day she murdered her mother, feeling a wave of anxiety and unease. Okay, pretty straightforward, but kind of hard to visualize. Let's look at the show. The morning of June 27th was clear and sunny, with the fresh warmth of a full summer day. The flowers were blossoming profusely, and the grass was richly green. Sound familiar? Because it's from the story. Yes, Jackson uses show, not tell. Then look at what I've added. Nancy Hutchinson treaded lightly, with a little bounce in her step, smelling the sweet honeysuckle air and gazing up at the blanket of powder blue above her. There wasn't a cloud in the sky. A wave of nostalgia hit her. The honeysuckle air swirled with fresh-cut grass, hitting her like a looming brick wall. A smell that should bring a smile to her face, but instead brought a giant pit to her stomach and knot in her throat. Her steps became heavier and her hands clenched as she remembered the day her and her family murdered their own mother against their will. So if you look here, I have showed you what a beautiful setting looks like and what upset looks like. So instead of telling you Nancy is upset, I write a smell that should bring a smile to her face, but instead brought a giant pit to her stomach and knot in her throat. That shows you anxiety and unease. Her steps became heavier, right? They were lighter at the start. Shirley Jackson does a good job of showing you. If the morning of June 27th is sunny and clear, you infer it's beautiful. So you can visualize it. Notice how my pen has literally become a paintbrush. Now, this changes the experience for the reader because they get to make the inferences and they get to picture what you wrote. So have some fun and play around. There's only 1, 2, 3 boxes for you to fill out. And you don't have to write as much as you did. I just happen to be really vibing in this free write. Okay, have fun.